Hey everybody, Hostron here with another Star Trek CCG video. So this video is going to be a follow-up to my last Star Trek CCG video. After I posted that video, thanks to everyone who watched it, by the way. Appreciate that. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed. But I posted that video, and then some people reached out, had some additional questions, some additional issues that they wanted some clarification on. So this video is basically, the purpose of it is to go ahead and quickly go over the things to answer those questions. So bit of bookkeeping here. This is attempt number 3 to do so. The first attempt I started, and then I had to leave the house suddenly. Then on the second attempt I was 20 minutes into the video, and then my computer froze and wiped everything out. So yeah, attempt number 3, hopefully, fingers crossed, I can go the whole way with this one. So, okay, so first question was, how do we do it multiplayer? How do you do it? How do you do a game where it's you and an opponent? Very simple. So the person who will create the table will go create. They'll click multiplayer. They'll enter a name for the table. If you want a password protect it so only your chosen partner can join, you can do that, and then you can just simply create the server. You can do up to 10 people on the table, and then of course only one person can play, obviously, but everyone else can select spots on the table or they can just spectate. So we'll just go ahead and create a multiplayer table for this one. Anybody will be able to join into it, so maybe somebody will join, don't know, but what'll happen is that you will create the table, and then your partner, instead of going to create, they will go to join. So they will click join, and then TTS is going to populate every game, every table that is out there right now, okay? And then what you'll do is you'll just want to sort by game and then scroll down to where Star Trek CCG would be. So pretty much in here, okay? Then it'll show up, and then you can click on it, and then you can join it. Okay, so you literally would just literally click on it, and then you hit connect, and you would join to it. If it's someone that you are friends with on Steam, the game will show up as a highlighted green game, so it'll be easier to spot it. Okay. But since I don't want anybody bothering me right now, I'm just going to create a single player table so that no one bothers us. That's how you would create the table, and then that's how you, the opponent, would join the table. Okay? Okay. So the next question was the zones. Okay? So the next question was the hand zone. Okay? I'm actually going to flip over to this side so you can see it better because the brown doesn't show up. But so you've got some cards out here. If you drag them over, oh, that's interesting. Apparently the table bugged already. That's very interesting. Okay. Well, let's do this. Let's just create a hand of 3. And then we'll see if it does it correctly this time. There it is. Okay. Table's sort of bugged. Okay. So once you've created a hand, what you can do is you can drag a card, and then see that highlighted area? That's your hand zone. So if you drag a card into that zone, it automatically joins your hand. Okay? That's simple. That's not the only place you can drag into your hand. That's where you can, that's your default drag zone. But if you already have a hand, you can drag any card on your screen to being next to a card in your hand, and it will join your hand. Okay? That's simple. Okay? It's very easy to put stuff into, very easy to take stuff out of your hand. Okay? All right. So next question was how to like do mission attempts in second edition. Okay, so let's just take 6 random cards here. We'll take 6 random cards. I don't care. So you got your missions out here. Got your missions out here, etc. Oh, here's our ship. It's at our headquarters. We've got these people in play. We got these people in play at our headquarters, and we want to, like, you know, we want to take them and do a mission. Okay. So let's say that these 3 cards are our hand. So the question basically was, how do I mess with my hand? How do I mess with my people? The answer to that is exactly how you would in real life. You take your hand, flip it over so your opponent can't see it, put it somewhere on the table. If you want to leave it that way, you can, but you can also just group it. You know that's your hand. It's however you want to do it, whether it's grouped or it's not grouped. You just select the whole thing, put it back into your hand. That simple. Okay, so our hand is set aside. Here's our people. Okay, there's 12 of them. Hit 12. Those 12 jump into our hand, and then we can decide, oh well, you know what? Don't want that person, so we have 11 people here. So I want to like take my 9 people. Let's take these people. And I don't want to take this person, so I'm going to leave him behind. I don't want this person, I'll leave him behind. And then here we go. Here's our 9 people. Put them out. Hit G. They group. Put our ship on top of it. Take the whole group out. Fly to this mission. I'm going to attempt with these 9 people. Look at that. I'm attempting with 9 people. Your opponent sets his hand aside, draws his dilemmas the same way you would from your deck or what have you. Put your cursor over it, hit that number, they'll draw that many, they'll select their dilemmas, you'll face them. So you want to face dilemmas. Okay, hit 9. 9 cards. My people are back in my hand again for dealing with dilemmas. Flip the first dilemma. Say it requires a random selection. Well, guess what? You see your hand. Your opponent cannot see it at any time. There is no function in TTS that allows you to see your opponent's hand while you're seated at the table. Okay? The only way to see anyone's hand is to be selected as the black person, the black seat. Okay? But if you're sitting as an opponent, they cannot see your hand. Okay? From their perspective, your hand always looks like that. It looks like this right here. No matter what you do with the cards, whether you flip them within your hand or not flip them, they always show as the card back to your opponent. Okay, so you flip a dilemma over, it requires a random selection. Because your opponent can't see these cards, where they're at, it's not material, but you can still select them all if you want to. And just to be safe, hit R and randomize them. The computer will move their positions around so your opponent doesn't know where anyone's at. And then your opponent can literally take their cursor, grab a card, pull it out. So, got a dilemma says randomly select 2 people to be stopped. Your opponent can literally go select this card. They can just click on it, and then you can just go flip, drop it down. Okay, select another card. I want that one. They can literally just bump it, tap, tap. Okay, so you see it, set it down. Those 2 people are stopped. Okay, or if it's a dilemma that's going to check requirements, it doesn't matter. It's the same theory. You've shuffled your hand. They can literally just pull people out. Okay, and then once they've checked them, you can just take them, drag them back into your hand. They flip back over from your opponent's perspective, and then you can just select your whole hand, randomize it quick again. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's just like real life. This is where TTS is vastly superior to Lackey. None of this, select a tab here or select a tab there. Oh crap, I forgot which tab is which ship. Doesn't matter. You don't deal with that crap. on TTS. You play it on TTS like you do in real life. Want to split your away teams up? Fine. I select these people, I flip them over, I drop them down, form a group. I want this other group, flip them over, drag them down, form a group. They attempt. These people are here. Oh, I want these people on the ship. Oh, they're on the ship. It's just like playing in real life. It's that simple. It's vastly superior to Wacky, and it's so much faster because random selections will be done at the same speed roughly the same speed you do it at in real life. Okay? It's that simple. Okay? All right, moving on. Next question was about the board size. Okay? So the board now, as Bavarian Data has constructed it, is probably about the correct size. I don't know that you'd want to go any smaller now. Just to kind of give an example here, if we're playing first edition, you've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 missions with enough spacing. So you're taking up that much of the board, and because of the fact that you can zoom, use your scroll to zoom, you know, you can very easily still see the relevant portions of the board and see all 12 missions that are going to be on the space line for first edition. And in second edition, you're in an even more constrained space. You can just, if you really want to, just scroll down, get to a comfortable viewing angle. It's totally fine. Like I said in the last video, if you really want to look at something, Alt, 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 or I'll zoom in on it, maybe mess around with it, zoom back out. I want to look over here, zoom in, zoom out. Your opponent does not see that you're doing that. All they see is your cursor just kind of hovering. I mean, you can literally like, oh, you can be sneaky, like, oh, I'm gonna put my cursor over this one. I will zoom in, but I'm really wanting to look at this one. I mean, there's all sorts of ways you can be sneaky about things, and your opponent cannot necessarily pick up on stuff. It's just like in real life. You kind of tilt your head in there to look at an area, but maybe your eyes are focused not where your head's exactly looking. All sorts of little tricks like that you can do. Okay, the same sorts of tricks are available on TTS. They're just not done the same way, but they're the same tricks. Again, another reason why TTS is vastly superior to Lackey is the fact that it simulates the real game experience so much better. Okay. Okay. Now, as far as the board itself is concerned, we're gonna have to like do some stuff here. So I'm gonna show you like what you can do. So you go to objects, and tables is one of the things you can do. And you can choose one of the preset tables if you want to, or you can do a custom table, okay? So if you just do a regular square table, you get a regular square table. Everything that was on the previous boards auto-populates on the new board. So if you want to do that, you know, you can do it like this. Let's just delete everything off of here. We'll put my board deck on the board. So you get your board deck sitting here, but you want to change tables. It's fine. We'll select the hexagon table. It comes with. I want a custom table, custom square table. Cool. Done and done. It comes with. Now this is the fun part about custom tables. You can select a picture. You can select a picture. Save pictures. My pictures. Gen Con 2016. So say you want to just for one game just kind of live in the old glory days. Hi Jeremy. Hi Barry. So you got a custom table. You can literally set the custom mat. Okay, it's that simple. If you've got a picture that you like, that you want to do, it's that simple. Okay, so we were so young. Anyway, and if you change the table, again, the cards that were on there stay on there. You can change it. Now you have a rectangle. So obviously a rectangle table is going to be superior for playing first edition on, okay? You can change, you can just mess around with this stuff like all day long, you know? Yeah, I mean, if you got pictures everywhere, boom, Jägerbomb gaming symbol right there. So now you got a nice little custom table. It's not a lot going on. So if you don't like the lcars, you know, the lcars format that comes with it, you can just create your own table and you can set it to whatever you want. If you've got a picture of nothing but blackness, you have a black table. If you have a picture of, you know, like your kid, you can just play with kid face on the table. It's that easy. I mean, it really is. So we'll go back. Oops, that's not what I want. Anytime you want to like just start a new game, you can literally just do that. It'll reload everything. When you do that, though, you lose the fact that like your deck's sitting on the table because you basically started a whole new game. So obviously you don't do that unless you want to start a whole new game. Okay. Now, as I mentioned before in the last video, there's no direct save in TTS. Okay, this isn't like Lackey, but you know, Lackey has the save game function. Well, you know, Lackey has that function because it's a garbage program that crashes and freezes all the damn time. So, can't do it here. Now, here's the thing. If the host is fine, say that like the opponent, the person who joined the table, say their computer crashes and they just get kicked out, it's fine. Table stays, okay? As long as the person who created the table is at the table and everything on it will stay exactly how it is. The opponent can then literally reload TTS and everything, jump back in, and they will find it exactly the way they left it, assuming their opponent didn't mess with it. So, if you were the opponent who joined the table, you do not have to worry about saving, okay? Because as long as the person who created the table is there, the table's there, okay? Now, there is a workaround, okay? So let's just do this. Let's clear all this garbage off the table so I can better illustrate, okay? So I'm gonna pull a, I'm gonna pull just a random like Star Wars Destiny deck out here because it'll just be simpler. I have the cards. The cards are easier to deal with here. You gotta, so say you just have like a random game that's set up. You got your draw deck here, you got your people, etc. You've played stuff out, so you got stuff sitting everywhere, like all over this table. Stuff is all over the dang table, okay? What you can do is maybe every so often select as much as you possibly can, okay? So you literally select everything that you can that's on the board here, and then you right click, save object, and then you can just save and say, we'll just call this game 1, okay? Saved, okay? Now let's delete everything. It's deleted, it's off the board, can't come back, it's gone. Well, not so fast. I can, game 1, everything shows back up in the way it was. It'll drop onto the table maybe in slightly different positions because it's going to, the computer is going to create a center of the tape, you know, a center, and then it's going to drop it down. But it's there, okay? You just take it, move it over, exactly the way it was, more or less. That's how you save on TTS. Is you just save as much of the table as you possibly can. You just select everything that's on the table, save object, save it, and then if you create a whole new game even. So let's do that. Let's create a whole new game. Create a whole new game here. Doesn't matter. It's in your saved objects. Game 2, it's right there. Okay? Oops. What you can do is you can just drag it out so that it falls onto the table the way you want it to. Boom, there it is. Everything that was saved. That last game, saved right here. Whole game state. Okay? Now, here's possibly the caveat to that. Is the fact that it sometimes has difficulty, as you can see here, with stacks that you saved. Okay, and you might get these weird card backs a little bit. If you flip the cards over and flip them back, it's going to show something weird because the card didn't load, but it'll be there. Okay, so let's do a clear again. We'll do it with Trek cards. Whoop. Let's just put some random cards in some random places. Get out of here, move. Come on, come on. We got random cards all over the place here, okay? We got a super messy game state. Cool, super messy game state. It's all over the board. Select the whole thing, right click, save object. We'll save it as game 2. We'll overwrite that file. Now we'll just delete everything. We'll just clear the board. Objects, saved objects, game 2, drag it out, boom, everything as it was. That simple, okay? It's not a perfect workaround because if the whole board freezes, if your computer freezes, if you're the host and your computer freezes, well, you can't save the board state. But your opponent can, as long as, even if you're the host, and say the program freezes or your computer freezes, the table will still be existing. So that's again the reason why you'd want to have, you know, Skype going or whatever, have each other's phone numbers, whatever you need to communicate to each other in case that happens. Tell the other person save, and they can literally just go select the entire board, save it, and then they can host and drop it down. Okay? So that's the workaround on saving. Okay? It's not a perfect solution, but it's definitely good. It's still good. Okay. Next question was, when you load the plugin, does it have to load all the assets, or you could have a plain board and then load a deck? The current board seems to be visually cluttered, considering there can be much on the table during the Trek game. Like I said before, if you want to make the table as simple as you want, you can do that. That's fine. Okay, you can literally just create a blank table. You can just go from there. When you load your deck, all the cards are going to load, but you know, when you flip them over, yeah, it just takes a few moments for all these cards to load, but it's just moments. I mean, I played Lackey long enough to know that the amount of time it took to load cards a lot of the times a lot longer than TTS. And do the card pools need to be manually updated like in Lackey, or is it possible to automate it or crowdsource it like Untap? So Bavarian Data is the one who's basically taken the lead on doing all this. So if any new cards are created, he can just create the JSON formats and import it into the mod. Since he's the quote-unquote author of the mod, he's the only one who can genuinely change the mod. But JSON format cards, my understanding is that there's just a program out there that people use to do it. So anybody can ultimately create the JSON format cards, and they can save it on their computer, and then they can actually propagate it. This is what happens in the Destiny community. In the Destiny community, new sets are coming out, but the whole set hasn't released yet, so there's no point in putting a whole set in. So they create essentially temp files. They load the cards into a file, and then you save the file. Okay. The way that I'm using the screen capture to record this video, I don't have the ability to go outside of TTS to show you exactly how to do it. But if you remember from the last video where I showed you where you save objects, you know, actually on your hard drive within the files, that's how they do it. They basically create the files, they create, you know, they create the images, they save it on their computer, and then you can basically download it or share it, file share it, whatever you want to do. and then you just save it on your computer like you're saving one of your saved objects, and then it just shows up there, okay? So see, like there's all these cards that have not been officially released yet, but they're there because the people created the JSON format, you know, the file for all the cards, and you can just save it. So that's the answer to that question. Let's see here. That's all the questions that I'm seeing. Let's check the Discord. See if there's any others there. Bavarian Data tells me that there is a possible way to rewind by 10 seconds. I don't know how to do that, and I don't know that it's relevant, other than the fact that sometimes, like I said in the last video, if you and your opponent are busy doing too many hotkeys too quickly, the table might get a little buggy. But if the table gets buggy, then whoever is the person who's not been bugged too heavily, they can do the whole table save. Just do the table save, and then restart, reload everything right back to where it was. It's, like I said, that's how you work around those problems, and it's a very fast, very easy workaround. And it looks like, as we saw it when we came in, but it does look like Bavarian Data was able to merge in the tribbles mod. So tribbles is now available as well. So yay, tribbles. Okay. So I think that does it for, for the questions. The next thing is that Bavarian Data is taking he's taking suggestions on maybe how to clean the table lookup here, the lcars format look. So I'm basically just going to talk about that. So if you're not really interested in that, you can stop the video now, because I'm just going to basically kind of be speaking directly to Bavarian Data here. But if you want to watch it, that's great. And then if you have your additional thoughts, leave them in the comments, or let Bavarian Data know on the Dojo Discord, is where he and I are talking. So buddy, get rid of these get rid of these 4 boxes. This is too much. Okay, there's these don't serve a purpose. Okay, when you lay your cards out, you don't want these boxes like messing with your point of view. Okay, so these 4 need to go. So these sections right here, get rid of them. Okay, then take these and separate them so that you create an opening here to put cards on. Because I think, because especially for like the first edition players, if you had one nice long line here to like, that's, you know, the height of a card plus a little bit on each end, this becomes the space line. So you have a nice visual, this is where the space line goes. And if anything, just take this and move it up to here, okay? So take this whole section right here and move it to here, and just one of them. So you eliminate one of them, keep one of them, and then just move it so that it's right here, okay? So you've got a handy dandy space line visual right here. You just plop your cards in, okay? You want these not obviously so far up. Most players have their draw deck either here or here. I don't care which side it is. In real life, I play left-handed. I always have my deck over on the left side. Most players have it on their right side, but it doesn't really matter. Just pick a side. Most people will just do whatever. And then get rid of these. Just get rid of them. They don't serve a function. If anything, just have, so you've moved this up to here, you've gotten rid of these, this whole area is now going to be open. Maybe just create a nice box here. Nothing more than that, nothing less, just a box, okay? So then basically what it will look like, what it'll look like is you'll have the space line here, these will be shifted down, so then they will probably be at roughly, they'll be at like roughly this level, right? So then basically you'll want to leave enough space for people to put stuff in between, and then you'll want to have this section just be open. And then maybe you, and then like on one side you have the draw deck. Like you have the draw deck and discard pile just on one of these sides. My preference is over here, but you don't have to listen to me. I don't care. Pick a side. Okay? That's how you should do it. Okay? I mean, you can leave these here if you want to. I don't care. You can leave this cool, fun stuff on the side. That's cool. Just shift them down. So these just get shifted down. This, one of them, becomes the center of the board. So you have space line, basically. And then you have just an open section here that's like right below it to a certain point. And you just have literally open space, except where you have, you know, the draw deck, discard pile on one of the sides. And like I said, get rid of these engineering things. Just get rid of them. Okay? Cool. I hope that answers the question, Bavarian, about how I think you should have this layout. Because then that'll be much more clean if you ask me. And then, like I said, just get rid of these. They are what's making this whole thing too busy. You need to just have nice open space. Okay? I do love the picture in the background. I do love the overall like outside of it. It looks very nice, but you got to clean this middle section up so it's just functional only. It's either going to be just the background picture or functional only, and that's it. Okay? And maybe you don't even put this in there, but just try and we'll see how it looks. Okay? Cool. Any other questions that anybody has, leave comments below, and I will then maybe answer. I'll either answer them or I'll do another video. But thanks for watching, everybody. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please subscribe to my channel. And then once this is really up and going for first edition, hopefully, you know, people will let me know that they're interested in doing games, because then we'll do some exhibition games. I'll record exhibition games and post them to the channel so that people can watch them. I'd love nothing more than to start playing online Trek again. I mean, the reason I stopped playing online Trek was because Lackey is a pile of garbage. When something is free, you get what you pay for, which is to say, no support, no help, and a buggy-ass program that's constantly freezing and crashing. And I have never had TTS freeze or just outright crash on me. The table sometimes gets buggy, as I said, but you just do the quick save, restart it, it's usually fine, okay? And that's a far cry from dealing with like the full-on freeze and crash issues that TTS has. And then, of course, as I said earlier in the video, like actually playing the game out is so much more true to real life that it's so much more user-friendly. Once you just learn the hotkeys for flipping, grouping, randomizing, and moving your camera around, you're good to go. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. See you at the tables.